Hey guys, Second for Tuesday. This is another 000webhost.com tutorial. I'm going to show you how to set up Cloudflare on your 000.com website. First thing you want to do is there are three things you want to log into, and one of them, if you haven't got an account, you need to set up. First of all, you want to log into the 000webhost.com members cPanel. We all know how to do that. Then you want to open. You don't need to open up your website, but you can if it's new. You should see a page like this without a couple of things down there, but we don't need that open. The next thing you want to log into is your domain registrar. So that can be anyone from GoDaddy to cheapnames.com, but in this example we are using .tk, which is a free domain, a top-level free domain. It's great-ish, except when they randomly have downtime for no apparent reason. So the domain we're working on here is this one at the bottom. The first thing you want to go and do is you want to set up your account here. You want to if it's obviously you're using another domain, you want to set up it. You want to put in, if one of these, you have to put in that the DNS server names for 000webhost.com. I recommend doing a start off, and then you switch them over, which you'll have to do in the next bit in this tutorial. Once you've done that, you click OK, save changes. The message that will here will go away, as you can see. So this is now set up with the 000.com DNS servers, which is perfectly fine, except sometimes they can go down, which isn't so good. So the next thing you want to do is once you've logged into that, we'll leave this for the time being, just leave that like it is. You want to go over to Cloudflare.com. If you haven't got an account, it is relatively simple. Just give me a sec and I'll open this up to see what people who haven't got an account have to do. Obviously you just go on to Cloudflare.com, go sign up, and then you need to put in your email address, confirm email address, which is unusual, most people don't do that. Pick a username, pick a password, it has to be at least 6 characters, make it strong. Confirm password, agree to their terms of use, and the next bit is selecting a website, but this you'll all see on here. Following the steps in this bit is relatively easy. Following the steps on once you have one account set up is very easy. So the first thing you want to do here is you want to get the domain name of your website. In this example, we're going to use web hosting h.tk. You're going to go add website, and what this is now doing is, as you can see here, performing scan records, performing 60-second record scan. This is going to going to finding out things about your domain name. Actually, the example of the thing, I can show you what it is actually finding by using a tool I came across into DNS.com. It'll go to the DNS server and it'll find as you can see, 000webhost.com. Finds out it's enough from .tk. It gets all this information that it needs to know to be able to set up Cloudflare on your domain. And it has there are some issues with the 000webhost.com things for some reason, but it won't affect the thingy here. So we're going through, and it's just doing that. It's just finding the information it needs to know for thingies. So the other, once you have this, you have apps you can add on, like things saying your browser is not compatible with this version. Your internet browser, for example, there's an Internet Explorer one that isn't compatible. It could say that. And analytics is like Google Analytics, but it's better because it uses the fact of people going through their network instead of Google, which uses a JavaScript piece of code. As you can see here, now it says continue setup, domain name records scanned. So we're going to continue setup. And now this is where, in theory, he says, confirm your DNS zone list below. Our system has found as many records as possible, but it's important you verify these listed here. Decide subdomains you want on and off in Cloudflare. This will come in handy later if you need to change them. With that, it says it's going through Cloudflare. That means it will go right. It'll ignore the Cloudflare network. It will go past it. So what we have down here is we have the domain. What it uses an A record, because you have to change the domain name servers. It uses an A record. So we have the thing for the email. I have not yet tested when I've run something through an email client. I don't know if it will still work like it should. I have never tested that. And we have the same one for the www. And then a couple of A records related to the IP addresses. The IP address itself should be one related to your domain. For example, that one there, or that one there. It's more like to be this one here. Should have got one like that. But anyway, so the next thing you want to do, this, you shouldn't need to change this. I haven't yet needed to change things. I have added things, but you shouldn't need to. I've added any missing records and continue. Really, that should be just continue myself. What it does here is now you can choose your plan. which, for example, in this one is free. The Pro one is £20 a month, and the business one is £200, which, in my opinion, they need one in the middle there. But the Pro one, which is professional, supposedly, is quite good. But then again, the free one, the idea is basically freeing up your speeding up your site, sorting out bandwidth limits, because most web hosts or free web hosts have bandwidth limits. Because it's running through their thing, it sort of cancels out the bandwidth limit, because it's coming off their servers. Most of it's coming off their servers, not 000webhost.com servers. And then some other things: reduce server load and uses bandwidth and less bandwidth. And this is where you can have this is one they recommend this one, the faster basic one, which is the performance settings for how much it caches the site, speeding up load times, things like that. Security, and they recommend medium. I currently have it on high, I believe, because it was coming up a lot of things that looked a bit dodgy in the threats panel, which is reasonable. There are a few. Low basically says that users will only be challenged if they repeatedly engage in spam and hacking and something, and the medium is one that people known things will have a catcher come up, which if it's a spam bot, it won't be able to get past, so it won't be allowed onto your site. And high it's the highest security level they do. You can also, with a paid one, you can put a secure, like they have on this page, not the highest level secure description, but it won't, as people know, you cannot put a secure description on 000webhost.com. You can do it through their server to your site, not to the Cloudflare network to your site, and then not onto the actual server your site's hosted on. It's just the sort of that little bit. It would be secure, but you do unfortunately have to pay for that. I'd like to have that anyway. The next thing we have here is updating your server names. Final step is to update your server names for webhosting.htk. This is relatively simple. You just have to go over to your registrar, which, as I said, you need to log into. The three things you need to log into. Click modify or whatever the button will be. Change domain names. Server names, and you just want to edit, paste in the new ones. You don't need, for some reason, with .tk, it doesn't require you, even though it has a IP address. When you put them in originally, it doesn't. It just ignores the fact there's an IP address. You don't need it, and I don't know what the IP addresses for those two domains are anyway. So we're just going to click Save Changes. That'll cancel out. And I've updated my server names. Has the thing about frequently asked questions if you're stuck. I'd be surprised if you were. And this will now check the fact that the server names have been updated. Gradually, you've essentially set up. We've back-ended the server same days. It updates all these things. You can follow us on Twitter and Facebook, which is quite nice. And then there's a plugin you can get. There's a whitelist things I'm providing. And what you'll have now, finish up waiting your surname and to change to that. Please allow the registrar up to 24 hours. This is the thing, it depends on the registrar. It can be from 24 hours to 72 hours. But normally I would have said, when I set up the uCreators website, which is again on .tk, it took about, I would have said 24 hours, but I'm not sure, because it's hard to tell when you're, at the beginning, when your site is or isn't. It will come up with some nice details. Obviously has here, it's got a tick to set up free plan apps and things. So we're just going to go retest here, and this will do is it will go through to the .tk server name server and check that the DNSs have been changed. This may take a little while, so we're just going to close out there because it doesn't matter. The things you also have is DNS settings. You can change them. Cloudflare settings, which I might as well show you. Pause Cloudflare and delete domain. Once it's set up, you have a couple of other options, which is page rules. So if you want to move, you suddenly moved your site, you can forward the whole of that domain to another domain, which is quite a nice feature. And there's some other things in there. Developer mode will take your site. It will stop caching your site for 3 hours, allow you to change things, which is a nice feature. And we have again pause Cloudflare and delete your domain. Under settings, you have settings overall, security settings, performance. The one on this I have is custom. Also, with the security settings, the one they don't give you on there is essentially off, which means it's not stopping, basically not stopping anything, which is not recommended at the high performance because it's set to custom on here. You can purge the page because it caches your site on their network. You can purge individual files, which I had to yesterday when I uploaded a new picture to uCreators.tk. I'm not quite sure because it wasn't on the site before. It was an old thing. It kept coming out with my not found page. Anyway, so you purge the page cache and it should work. Or the file cache, sorry, and you can purge the whole cache, and it will delete everything and then go and recache it again. So if you made a huge change on your site, you delete the cache, it will go around and do it again afterwards, which is a quite nice feature. The developer mode is, like I already said, automatic IPv6, which is the new IP address protocol, which in this case is off. You don't really need it on. I don't know if 000webhost.com actually supports IVP6 yet. I have no idea. They haven't actually made a statement on that. And then we have some other things which are only available in Pro, Business, or Enterprise, which costs a fortune. Enterprise outbounding links, again, that's something you have to pay for. That you can leave on Google Analytics. You can set a setting so you can add the Google Analytics code in here, and it'll add it to every single page of your site without you have to do it manually. It's a system that I use and it works perfectly. And the next one down we have security connection again, which is only available on Pro, Business, Enterprise, and then again editing the DNS. So guys, that is just how to, as you can see here, it doesn't take 24 hours, it's just finished through and it's set up. So that was what, 5 minutes. Guys, this is how to set up your domain on Cloudflare.com. Just to prove it still works, we're going to visit this site. As you can see here, it's running up fine. But back over here, this is something people get a bit confused about. This message will never go away now because your domain is not set up to their server names. Just ignore that message. The site will work fine on this host. It works fine for me. So guys, that's how to set up Cloudflare on a 000.com domain. Remember to rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you around.